yeah, definitely don't cut any corners, because if you try and do things differently to save $1, at the end of the day, you just become like everybody else. Where
You got to be motivated and you got to love it, because if you don't love it, you can't be bothered and you're not going to grow and succeed, I feel.
You walk in, you leave your worries at the door, stay and hang around for a coffee afterwards. You feel better than before you came in.
Con Meze Mazi, welcome to the pod. How are you going?
Fantastic. Thank you so much for having me here. And yeah, really pleased to be doing this with you guys. Thank you.
You're like 2 shops down. You're not far either.
I know. Yeah, that wasn't far to get here. So yeah, it was. It's an honour to be here. Thanks for having me.
So, Con, tell me the story behind Meze Mazi. Yeah. How did it start, and what inspired the food, the drink, the menu? How'd you get into this?
So, basically, my family's always been in hospitality. My father used to own Zorba's, which was a really popular Greek tavern, Greek spot back in the day. And so I've always grown up in the hospitality game. But how we came into Meze Mazi was I used to dine there a fair bit. And I was friends with the previous owner, Andreas, and we used to go there all the time. We obviously became friends with a lot of the staff and the chefs, and it was something my business partner, who's always been involved in as well, Andreas. He's Greek Cypriot, who's had restaurants and beach bars overseas in Cyprus. Was always looking at doing something here, and we were looking for something that was obviously Greek, but in the right spot. And we always knew, obviously, Prospect were the most Greeks in South Australia. It was something that we wanted to carry on and create something where it's authentic Greek food. I've always found that a lot of the Greek restaurants you go to today, it doesn't matter where it is, it's just traditional glorified barbecue food. Whereas here, this is obviously inspired by authentic Greek chefs. And we've always said, if we wouldn't eat it ourselves at home, then we wouldn't dish it out to our customers. So essentially, basically from that, we every year we go to Greece and we try and poach some good Greek chefs that obviously know what they're doing, and we've been really successful with that. So we've got a good team of traditional, authentic Greek chefs that just serve up the best food with the best local products and ingredients. So in a nutshell, that's pretty much a short story of how it all came about. So
wow. And you have, the experience, you've got live music. Tell me about the atmosphere. What's it like having a table at Meze Mazi?
Yeah. Very hard to get into on a weekend, and especially like you mentioned on a Greek music. So we run that every second Wednesday, so every fortnight. We introduce, we pretty much get most of all the local talent that Adelaide has, which we've got some fantastic talented singers and musicians and bands. We usually runs from about 7 to 12. It is, like I said, it's very hard to get a seat. Does get booked out well and truly in advance. Nothing over the top, usually a 3-piece band. There have been some plate smashing in the past. People have asked me that, and people do definitely have a lot of fun, but it is it's something that if you haven't been to yet, then I absolutely encourage you to come and see. So nothing else like it in Adelaide.
You mentioned before Greek's culture Prospect.
Yes.
How important is culture when it comes to food?
Massive. It is huge. Greek, when you talk about Greek, you use the word philotimo, which is basically, essentially, the way I see it is from culturally, growing up with food, and it's all part of the experience. Essentially, as a little kid, we'd always look at it and being at my yaya's house and eating and family, that's how I grew up, being around a dinner table with 20, 30 people, entertaining friends, entertaining family. I remember growing up as a kid, and there was always somebody at our house and always somebody eating, and food brings people together. I'm a really big believer in that, and especially good food, and we're trying to carry that as much as we possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
And going to Greece to, I guess, find talent,
Yes.
locally sourced. what are the chefs up to? How do you stay on top of that? And with Prospect Road, where it's going with all the other businesses that are coming in, what's it like managing a restaurant and staying ahead?
Yeah. Look, it has its challenges, but it's extremely rewarding as well. So yes, we do go to Greece every year, and we do try and find talent from over there. Not to say that the talent here isn't good; it's fantastic. But of course, we naturally, as you go overseas, and you go to the islands, and you'll see, you'll meet different people, and obviously, we've got a bit of a network over there as well. So we'll try and see if people are interested and if they're happy to come across. And we've been blessed and fortunate with the last couple of our senior chefs that have been here for a long time that we're keen to make the move across. And they're definitely serving out dishes that you just wouldn't find in your traditional Greek restaurants here. So
What's challenging? You mentioned there are challenges.
Yep.
What's challenging about running a restaurant?
So the challenges are, I would probably say, we've been fortunate from a staffing perspective, obviously front of house, that they're probably some of the bigger challenge you'll find a lot of restaurant owners will say. As far as hospitality goes, a lot of people just see it as a stepping stone from as a front of house. I mean, no one wakes up and says, I want to be a waiter forever or whatnot. So there is a bit of a turnaround in that. However, look, from an economy perspective, obviously that plays its part too. When discretionary spending goes down, there might be just because rates have gone up but generally we've been blessed being in Prospect. The demographics, we've got a lot of loyal customers that just keep coming back. So I was having a joke with somebody the other day that, on a Friday or Saturday night, you've just got certain number of tables that are just your locals that will be there, rain, hail or shine, and it's people like that obviously keep the business alive and obviously spread the word and make it what Meze Mazi has been today. And it's won a lot of accolades. It's top 100 restaurant in South Australia. So a lot of that is because of our loyal patrons and our clients. So. And Prospect's done a lot to help us. That location is key as well.
And speaking of location, Prospect, how has that impacted Meze Mazi? Where it's going, who's here now? I'm sure, from your customers, regulars, you'd be hearing things.
Yes.
How's Prospect helping?
It's helping in a massive way. I touched on it before that, the most Greeks in South Australia actually live in Prospect. Which you say that to a lot of people and people just tend to think it's Torrensville, because I think it used to be Torrensville and Henley Beach back in the day. But there is a very strong and vibrant Greek community in Prospect. And as far as the street itself, it's just come such a long way. And, we're noticing it. I'd love to say, monthly, but we're noticing it daily. I mean, from new businesses that are popping up to new people that come into the area. People that are coming in and, you just have to look across the road and see all the apartments that are being built and plus the ones that are in the pipeline to be built. And you think to yourself, it's becoming like a mini parade. And the fact that you do have that Greek strong community, we've got the Orthodox Church across the road as well. So it's just a real great buzz. And I'm a local to the area as well, so I live here myself, so I get to see it firsthand and get to experience it, which is fantastic. There's no other place like it.
Wow, it's great to hear, Con. Do you partner with other local businesses? And if so, what kind of collaborations does Meze Mazi have? How do you as an operating business, I guess, support local, tap into collaborations? What are you guys up to?
Yeah. So as far as local collaborations, so we've got, first I'll probably touch on the local suppliers that we'll deal with. So for example, just down the road, we've got Chanella's. So all of our fruit and veg is from Chanella's. Again, most traditional restaurants will probably choose to go to another option, whereas we've always turned around and said, we know that their quality is fantastic. We know that they serve pretty much the best of the best and they're local. So we try and support local businesses and obviously try and do the right thing by them. As far as collaboration goes, we've got Are You Even Greek? It's called. There's a place. There's a site that we do a lot with the Greek community from the musicians as well. We promote all the bands and sponsor all the major Greek singers that actually come to South Australia as well. So just recently we had one the other week, and we will do at least once a month. There is an overseas artist that will come from Greece, and we'll sponsor them. We'll feed them, and we'll obviously entertain them, and then then we might run another Greek night. So yeah, we do a lot for the Greek community from that aspect. Yeah.
Wow, it's so exciting.
Yeah.
What does it take, I guess, to stay motivated, happy? I mean, being a business owner, you wear many hats, and trying to keep everything spinning. For someone listening who might be inspired to one day open up their own restaurant, or they're thinking about it, or they might want to jump in but then unsure. What are your top tips? Like, what would you tell, I guess, younger Con who wants to jump in and get ahead? What would you say?
That's a good question. Yeah, you're right. You do wear many hats. We employ something like 20, 25 staff there. So absolutely, your daily conversations and with trying to make sure that everybody's happy and you stay on top of it. So one of the things I'd say to somebody trying to start this up is I would recommend it, absolutely. If you know what you're doing and you trust your product and you're obviously passionate about what you do. I think a lot of people get into it thinking of it from a dollar perspective, if we're being brutally honest, whereas if you actually eliminate that and say to yourself, if you're passionate about what you do and you trust the process and you know that, you're obviously going to be able to make sure that you deliver the absolute best and don't cut corners. That's my biggest advice. Don't cut corners in anything what you do. Whether it's every morning, for example, we'll have somebody that will do our prep. A lot of people will turn around and say, why don't you just do prep twice a week? Well, no, every 5:30 in the morning, I've got at least 1 to 2 chefs doing prep. Local fruit and veg, seafood, which is freshly delivered daily. We barely don't even have a freezer in there because we try and make sure that everything is fresh and daily. Greeks made by a pastry chef who makes them in-house. So pretty much nothing is really sourced outside. Everything's made in-house. They're the sort of recommendations or tips that I would give to somebody looking at starting a new business, is that try and keep it as authentic as you possibly can. And yeah, I know I've said it before, but yeah, definitely don't cut any corners, because if you try and do things differently to save $1, your clients will realise, and the end of the day, you just become like everybody else, whereas you need that point of difference.
Mm-hmm. Who were your mentors, Con? You seem quite wise and with experience and with risks and I guess following the tips that you've just provided. Who was supporting you? Did you have mentors that encouraged you? I
would probably say my biggest mentor would be my dad, which is I touched on it before, obviously being part of Zorba's, which was a massive, huge establishment back in the day, and there weren't really many Greek venues, and that was in between a restaurant, a tavern, and a function centre. There were a lot of functions that used to happen there. And I just saw it as a little kid growing up, and what he went through, and how resilient he was, and he would probably be my biggest mentor. Because obviously he was a fantastic businessman, very well known, and people still talk about him today. And even just when they come into the restaurant and they ask my surname, they'll always, they'll always find some connection to my dad. And yeah, I'll definitely say he was my biggest mentor. So yeah,
that's beautiful. If someone was visiting for the first time and they were interested in getting your feedback on what dish to try or a Con favourite, what is something that they should absolutely not miss out on? What should people order?
It's a very hard question. Well, I would say the purpose around Meze Mazi, well, the name around Meze Mazi is basically it's like a tapas / sharing plates together. So it's meeting meze, right? So I'd strongly encourage, and I do encourage people that come for the first time to try a series of different plates. As far as what our biggest hits would be, obviously our cutlets are amazing. We've got a lot of vegan options as well, by the way. So we've included some extra vegan, gluten-free options for and anyone with dietary requirements. But Crithodotto prawns has been a big hit lately, which is orzo pasta with king prawns. But with one of the chefs at a special that we've had the last couple of weeks, which has been going gangbusters, is a seafood risotto as well, which is scallops. He's got scallops, occhi, calamari, king prawns, and in a nice lemon-based sauce, which is to die for, which is fantastic. But again, we always update the specials board relative to season, obviously, and we've got a famous Greek chicken avgolemono soup as well, which has just started this week. So to answer your question, it's like trying to split children.
Endless.
I get that asked all the time, but it is. The baby snapper is really popular. It's obviously a whole fish baby snapper. But again, I touched on it before. Even with your vegan and vegetarian options, the vegan moussaka, we're always doing. We're always adding stuff to the menu, obviously, to cater for absolutely everybody. And
do you have a unique story or a story that is floating in the background of something that you've kind of seen happen at Meze Mazi that's kind of made you proud? Like, was there a moment, once the vision was alive and the business is running, and as a proud business owner, what's something that you've seen at the business that's kind of made you quite, vulnerable or smile, or what's something you can't forget?
There's a lot of those moments. I think on a daily basis, probably one of those moments would just be, when you engage with the patrons and the client and the customers, and you walk and you talk to people and you see how far they've actually come to try your food. That's probably on a daily basis one of the things that makes me the proudest the most. It was only the other day when I was speaking to somebody who's a regular and found out drives from Virginia to come and see us, and I was just gobsmacked. I thought you were local, and he said, "No, I love your food, and we'll make an effort to come." And we had a lot of people from down south. We've got a big following in Melbourne, huge following in Melbourne. And you'll notice that even on a long weekend, and these tables that are packed from Victorians, and we'll just chat with them and say, how did you come about and whatever. And they say, it was all through recommendation. So we definitely have a huge following, and word of mouth in any business is important. But we, in the local community here in Adelaide, we've got a huge following. But it's humbling and just really nice to know that people are talking about us interstate. And if I had $1 for every time someone said, "Oh, please open one up in Sydney," or "Please open one up," in Port Lincoln, where we're from, or or somewhere local there, it's definitely a proud moment.
Good seafood, Port Lincoln. It
Good
wouldn't be a
seafood,
bad
Port
idea.
Lincoln, correct? Yes, and and again, talking to seafood, we make sure that we obviously provide the best seafood here. So we've got a good relationship with the fish factory family, so all their seafood are off their own boats as well. So it's not even retail. So we definitely do try and get the best of everything.
So what's in the cards for Meze Mazi? The next 3-5 years, your vision, mission, purpose, I guess where Prospect Road is going. Magic wand moment. What's on the cards?
Yeah. So as you know, in the last couple of years, we expanded. So we've obviously got the next door area. We'd probably love to expand again. In some ways we could, but look, a part of us do want to keep it intimate and obviously make it just keep that vibe about it as well. We don't want to exactly go too big. We have been doing some catering, so that's one of the point of differences. And due to popular demand, there's been a lot of people that have asked us to cater their weddings or functions and parties. And we've done a few weddings this year. We had a real successful one, which initially I was hesitant at, but we did one at Peter Lehman Winery a few months ago with a couple hundred people. So that was a huge challenge. Running a Saturday night here with a couple hundred patrons eating, and then I reckon they had about 160 odd over there. So that was a huge challenge for us, but we nailed it, and we got a lot of repeat business from it, and a lot of people that obviously still come today and say, "Oh, I was at that wedding and I'd never been here before," and obviously, want to come and eat at your restaurant. So that's probably in the short term, and again, I say that's due to popular demand and people just begging us to do some of their catering events, which we've been doing. People have asked us for another shop, but yeah, watch this space and we will see. Yeah.
Amazing, Con. Well, is there anything that you would like to say to the listeners if something is coming through to you, or, like we touched on before, I guess inspiring people to step into the restaurant industry in South Australia? Is there anything you'd like to say to those listening, or maybe someone who's interested in coming in and they just want to try a Meze Mazi
absolutely.
dish?
We first and foremost, obviously, we thank our customers. They're the people that keep the place alive and running. And if you haven't been there before, then definitely get yourself to make sure you come to Meze Mazi. It's a family friendly, fun place which caters for everybody. And when we say caters for everybody, we legitimately mean that, because we try and make sure that we include everybody. Doesn't matter, if you've never had Greek before, or like I said before, if you had dietary requirements, or it doesn't matter, what country you come from or anything. At the end of the day, there's something for everyone. It is good quality food, good people, and I'd absolutely encourage anybody to come and try it, at least for the first time.
Amazing. And plugging it in, how do people find you? How do they get in touch, and how do they support Meze Mazi?
Yep. So we are literally just down the road from 86 Prospect Road. You can find us on social media, online. You can have a look at our menu on our website. We do have a pretty big Instagram following as well. So if you do want to know when the next upcoming Greek night is that we mentioned before, we obviously try and do daily posts, so you know exactly what's on and where. We are open every night of the week except Mondays. That could be subject to change soon as well, again due to popular demand. So, we can find us literally just down the road. So
right here on Prospect Road.
Right here on Prospect Road. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Con.
No,
it's
thank you.
been an absolute pleasure getting to know you and your story, and even the inspiration on watching your dad growing up being your hero. That was just fantastic to hear. So thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me. Thank you.
Anthony, how's it going?
It's good. It's good.
Pastagogo Prospect. How's it all going?
I'm so excited we're here. Especially how long it's taken to actually get set up. It's been it was like a year. So I'm just glad we're here, and I always love the location. I don't even live nearby, but we always used to come for dinner or lunch. It's such an awesome area, so I'm excited to be here.
No, we're excited to have you. Anthony, tell me the inspiration behind Pastagogo. Let's go back. How did Pastagogo become a thing, and how did you get involved?
The whole story, how my parents started and whatever. Yeah.
Yep.
We were sitting in a car one night after a party, and they're like, "Oh, I feel like pasta," and we're like, "Yeah." Me and my brother are like, "Yeah, I feel like pasta too." And where do we go? And it's just nowhere for takeaway, quick, easy pasta, on the go. And then that's how it all started from there. And my parents were both. My mum was a hairdresser, my dad was a painter, so they had no experience. They'd never worked in a kitchen before, no hospitality. They reckon they rocked up to one of the places to buy all the kitchen utensils and whatever. And they're like, "So what do we need?" And the guy's like, "What do you mean, what do we need?" It also would have been really hard back then, no internet. I think they did have internet, but you can't just go on YouTube or whatever, or no ChatGPT.
No.
Yeah, so it would have been pretty rough for him. That's how it started.
Wow.
And then, I was pretty much just tagging along with the ride. I was only 10 years old, so...
And what was that like as a 10-year-old navigating two parents, starting a business, watching them, I guess, go through the challenges of it, the success of it? What was it like watching your parents do this?
Oh, well, I was just So me and my brother used to just sit in the car while they're at work. So we used to go to school. My mum used to pick us up from school, and then we just sit in the car. And as we were, like, he was I think 7, I was 10, so we used to just fight each other. I used to just fight him, get bored after a couple of hours, and we used to watch movies, and then eventually end up fighting each other in the car. My mum would be losing it, trying to serve customers or whatever. But yeah. So I don't know. I was too young to kind of remember. I just remember being in the car a lot and at my grandparents' house. Pretty much it.
How important is culture and food? I mean, you're an Italian background, Italian family. How does that come hand in hand with, I guess, your menu and pasta?
Yeah. Well, growing up, we pretty much only ate pasta and like schnitzels and pizza. So yeah, and even now I kind of eat pasta every day still. So, but yeah, no, that's what I mean. We always loved pasta as a family. We always ate it all the time. As being Italian, kind of all Italians love pasta. So yeah, that was probably a main like factor in doing it as well. Because we like I said, we were sitting there like feel like pasta, sure, yeah, yeah, we just like it. So that definitely would have played a major influence in the decision of it.
And where do you fit in the business? How do you fit with Pastagogo, and how do you work with the fam?
Me and my brother work together really good. So mainly it's me and him now. Like my parents are kind of getting a bit older, trying to step back. But me and my brother are like, yeah, we're awesome. We never fight, never argue. So like, it's amazing because, it's hard being in business with family. Me and my dad always have like arguments and stuff because, he's old school and I'm always trying to do some changes and he's so stubborn. But mainly it's me and my brother and we're really good. Like we never have any arguments or anything. So it's actually really good. It's actually brought us closer. Like he was my best man at my wedding. I'm his best man now. So I don't know. It's cool.
That's amazing. Working with family, you kind of mentioned, I guess, that it's been quite positive, but if there are challenges, what are those challenges and how do you guys overcome them?
Definitely the main challenges are just like, you can never just go home and not think about work. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, even at nights. Like, I think I had a day off yesterday or whatever. No, Monday. Went into work all day and then I'm like, I should probably go check up on these guys. Went back to work. Like, that was my day off pretty much, but it just doesn't exist. So that's probably the main challenge. You always just got to be like, and you always got to keep up with the times. Like, you got to always keep up with changes or whatever. Yeah, whatever difficulties you're having. Like, you always just got to be on top of it and keep up with it. And then staffing issues, cancellations, and so you just don't rest pretty much. That's probably the main, with any business, I guess, that's the main thing.
How has the new current point of difference, how does that impact Pastagogo? Because from where Pastagogo started to now and, working with dad being a bit, with decisions and things, how have you kept up and how have you made Pastagogo, I guess, modern?
Yeah. Well, that pretty much me and Caroline, when we kind of like really stepped up, that's kind of the main thing. We're like, we got to make this like cool sort of thing. It was sort of a bit like, I don't know, like for example, we didn't renovate the shops for a while, so they started being a bit outdated. That's what I mean. You just kind of got to keep up with the times, essentially, like, social media and whatever else. You just got to be on top of it and always be on top of it because, everything's changing every year. So like you just constantly got to evolve and keep up.
What were some of the things that you did?
The main thing was I changed the packaging. So like, you get now if you see like we got branding on everything. We changed our logo, so we like rebranded. Shop fit outs, that was another main thing. Bit of menu changes as well. I think that's about it, right? Anything else? Social media as well. Yeah. Yeah, the whole thing changed, like our whole logo and everything. So that was pretty much the main thing. And then with that, shop fit out and new. Yeah.
And what was that journey like? How do you decide?
We were just there, like, I don't know, because we always eat out, like me and her, we're always like going to cool places and we're like, we got to make this cool, like let's try and do it. And yeah, it's hard. I feel like it's easier for a new business to do that because you're like the new kid on the block. Like whereas when you've been there for like 10, 15 years or whatever, I think it's harder to be like, to do that because they're like, oh, that's old. Like, you know what I mean? It's not new news. Everyone loves the new and up and coming things. So that's probably the biggest challenge with it, I reckon. Like, yeah, if we were to open up something brand new, something like it's exciting, whereas something, existing is kind of maybe not as exciting. But the plus side to it is you have a big client base and a strong name behind you. So yeah, that was probably the main challenge of it, I reckon.
And now being in Prospect in the most beautiful building.
So cool.
It's so awesome. Inside of an old bank. How are you finding it? What's the vibe been like? And what kind of atmosphere are you trying to create here in Prospect?
I love Prospect. Like I said, I've always really liked the area. In terms of the store fit out, I think because it's cool and like it looks nice and it's new, the vibe is there. Like we always got good music playing. I always go on the safe. Like every time I go on the safe, I don't know, it just feels so cool, like and weird. We got heaps of natural light. Like I don't know, the vibes are just awesome. Everyone that works there, like even a couple of boys from the other stores, every time they go there, they're like, "Oh, this is sick," sort of thing. And I think it's because it's like you're in an old bank, and also you're at Prospect where you're getting like the young crowd. Like everyone's kind of, I don't know. I like the client base, so all that like is the main factors of it. I don't know. It's just really good to be there.
What would you say to someone who has never been to Pastagogo? They're listening right now, and they want to come and try. What would you say to them? What do you suggest they do try if you have a favorite? But for someone that's never been, what is it like? Describe it.
How do I describe it? All right. So first up, you got to get the rosé chicken because that's kind of like, I don't know, it's the staple. I think it's the OG. I think that's kind of like what made us back in the day, pretty much when we're starting out, because times were tough at the start, for sure. My parents always talk about that. The first couple of years were tough, and the rosé chicken's like a massive seller compared to the rest of the menu. I still think there's stuff that's like just as good, but I don't know. It's just got the best positive feedback from it. So definitely try that if you're the first time. But like, yeah, I don't know. Everything's kind of good. What do I say to him? I don't know. We're a family business. Like, that's we always try and like as we're growing, I don't want to just turn into every other like mass corporate business. Like I still like even in Adelaide, we're it's either us owned or we have like a partner in them. So like it's all, and that's how the way I want to go. Like, opening franchises and stuff. I kind of want, even the one in Melbourne, that's our first franchise, for example. But like I worked with those boys for 5-6 years. Like I'm good mates with them. Like it's not just some random guy that I don't know and they're just like, go do your thing sort of thing. Everyone's like, yeah, even my business partners in Modbury, he's my best mate from school. Blake, who's been working with us since he was literally day one almost. Like I think he's pretty much been with us since the start. And he's got,
Wow.
Yeah. So he's actually a part owner in the Prospect store. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's just like family. And we're not just the corporate thing. We kind of, we're all about like, like we actually appreciate like the customers and all that sort of stuff.
And touching on family, you've kind of mentioned, I guess, those relationships and having those bonds that connect to the food, the pasta, and I guess creating that Pastagogo atmosphere. Have you had mentors? I mean, was it your parents that were your mentors? Like who's helped you, Anthony, to keep the wheels spinning and to be so passionately working and proud and working with your brother?
Oh, like, look, of course I've had mentors. I've seen my parents do it since as long as I can remember. Like, that's what I mean. It's just kind of in me. Like, it just feels like I've just been doing it forever. Like, it's all I know pretty much, eh? Like, in terms of mentors, yeah, sure. Like, I've been working with these guys, like, for example, Blake, and, I'm the younger guy. I look up to these boys because, like, I was like, for example, I was 13 years old when I started working. And I'm seeing these guys are like who are 18, 19. They're all like, I don't know. You kind of think they're cool. And then like you see them working, you see them cooking while you're doing dishes and you're like, oh, I kind of want to do some cooking. Like, you know what I mean? That I guess they're like my mentors when you're doing that. And then you start cooking and then you're looking up to like the managers and stuff. And then you're like, yeah, I want to be like that sort of thing. So I guess these guys were all my mentors to like kind of improve and take it to the next level. And then after that, even reaching the top, then you're like, okay, what's next? And then you're looking at guys who are doing it, who are owning businesses and opening stuff. And you're just kind of like, yeah, taking stuff from them and trying to grow like that, like trying to kind of, yeah.
Where do you get your pasta? Like, how do you source pasta, and is it authentic Italian pasta? Can you describe, I guess, how you get your produce? And
Yeah, so we make some pasta, like the gnocchi, and then we get our ravioli from Buona Pasta. They're like literally the best. I don't know if you've ever had their like ravioli and stuff. They're amazing. And then all our dried pasta is just from Italy, sourced straight from Italy. It's way better. Yeah, it's good for your stomach as well. It's all that stuff. Like apparently the wheat's so much better, and you feel it. Like you're less bloated. We've been talking about making our own pasta for a long time. The only reason why I'm hesitant is because, like on Uber and stuff, for example, that's heaps of our business. If you have fresh pasta and then you kind of let it sit there, sometimes it can go a little bit like soggy. Like fresh pasta is better to be made eaten fresh. Like, and everything, that's actually the hard part about business. You always got to factor in travel. Like, because, you know, you put something in a hot box for an hour until it gets to the customer. Like you got to factor that in. You can't make it. That's why we don't have any aglio olio meals, like the oil-based meals. Because as soon as it sits there for half an hour plus, it just turns to glue. So like that has to be factored in everything we do, which is actually really hard. Like if I was just making pasta and you're going to eat it straight away, we would change almost everything because we can cater for that. That's probably the harder part. And same thing with the fresh pasta. Like as soon as it sits there for half an hour, it just kind of goes a bit soggy. So we have some of those ranges, but like, yeah, I feel like for traveling, I think the pasta from Italy, like the dried stuff, is actually way better. So,
magic wand, Anthony. If you had a magic wand for Pastagogo, what's on the cards? Where do you see Pastagogo going in the next 3 to 5 years? If you could make anything possible, what would you be doing?
Nothing, honestly. Like I would just keep doing what I'm doing. I'm just having fun with it. I don't want to like wish. Like, I don't know. I'm just going to go with the flow and see what happens pretty much. Like seriously, I'm enjoying myself. I'm still trying to like grow and expand and have fun with the process. Like that's literally what I'm trying to do. If we get bigger, awesome. If we don't, I guess that's kind of the ball's in our court. Like if we want to grow, like we got to be smart with it and how we do it. I don't want to just wave a massive wand and open 100 stores. Like, I don't know. I just kind of want to go with the flow and see what happens pretty much.
Being comfortable and confident with what you've got.
Yeah. And just keep improving and then see where we go from there.
You mentioned fun. Is fun important to you? Is fun important to the boys? When you're hiring people to work for Pastagogo, is that also...
100%. So like I'm working with these guys. I want to have fun. Like I don't want to rock up to work and be like, And you know what I mean? If you're going into work and you're like, I can't be bothered, like that it's like what's the word? Like so what I'm looking for, like, you know what I mean?
Well, it impacts everyone.
It impacts everyone. Like, you know what I mean? If one guy at work's like, oh, I really don't want to be here, man, like I can't be bothered, then everyone else is just like kind of 100% it's all vibe. Like I said, I'm going to work with these guys. Like I don't want to be miserable at work. I want to have fun. And if you're having fun at work, you're going to work better. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you're getting busy and you're having fun and enjoying it, it's so much better. Like the mood's so much better. The vibe's better. Customers notice it as well. I feel like if you walk in somewhere, it's like, all depressing. It's just like, whereas you walk in there, everyone's having fun, doing like, obviously still doing work, but like you can just tell the vibe. So yeah, even we get guys who like, they're working with us and then they finish their uni degree and they're like, can I please still work weekends? Like, I don't want to give it up because they have fun. Or they drop out of their job and they're like, can I come back? Like that happened actually a couple of days ago. But yeah, like that's because it's so fun and I don't know. I feel like I kind of am a decent boss where I'm like nice to these guys, and you got to be careful not to be too nice because then they're just like, whatever, like they'll take it easy. But like, yeah, you got to make sure everyone's having fun, I feel. That's what we do.
Balance.
100%.
So for someone listening who hasn't been to Pastagogo before, they now want to come in and try. And also for someone listening who you might have inspired today to actually start a business or get into the restaurant industry, what are your top tips for those that want to jump in and risk and do it. And, you know, what would you say to encourage someone to come in and also try?
Like if someone's going to open their store,
What are the tips? What are the Anthony tips for someone that wants to do this?
you just got to know the risks. Like you got to realize that you're going to be working. Like you're going to be going home from work and you're still going to be thinking about work. Like that's the main thing that I sell. Even when guys approach me saying they like, oh, interested in opening a store or whatever, I'm just like, dude, you got to realize like Saturday nights aren't fun anymore. Like Friday nights suck. Saturday nights aren't fun. Yeah, you just got to like seriously factor that in pretty much into everything. And then you can't go home and just go do your stuff and not think about work. Like you always just got to think about it, and you got to be motivated and you got to love it, because if you don't love it, you can't be bothered and you're not going to grow and succeed. I feel that's the main thing. What was the other question?
And for those to come in, you know, how do they find you guys? How do they support you? How do they try the pasta? Where do they go? How many Pastagogos do you have?
We got 6 stores across Adelaide. I mean, if it's in summer, like we got the beach stores like Glenelg and Hanley. Also want Semaphore. I think that'd be a cool location. But I don't know. That I feel like those stores are really cool because like you're getting people from all over Adelaide. You know what I mean? Like I feel like, you know, like even Nord and Unley, I feel like they're a little bit like they're more your local area. Whereas I feel like those beach stores are pretty cool. It attracts everyone from all over Adelaide. But yeah, we got 6 stores across Adelaide, so like there's enough to hopefully there's something nearby.
But come to Prospect.
Come to Prospect. Prospect's cool. It's a good vibe, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can get a nice coffee while you're here and go for a nice walk down the street, pretty much. You know a lot more about Prospect. What else? You got
There's a lot of places to try.
You got the Aaron Williams Museum. That's so cool. Remember you telling me about that?
Yes, you've got to go to the museum.
I know.
But pasta first and pasta on the way out.
Pasta first.
So Anthony, is there anything you'd like to say to the listeners and for those watching? Is there any final words?
Come in and try it. We're not just a random like takeaway place. Like it's actually good food. We try hard, and we're not just a random corporate thing. We're like, you know, family business. So support local, I guess. And yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Anthony. It's been an absolute pleasure. And Pastagogo, Prospect, it's open and it's buzzing.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Had fun.
Z, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
How are you going?
Good. Yeah, everything's going pretty good. A little bit crazy at the moment. We've just had our little boy Lawson 9 weeks ago. So I know he's a little bundle of joy. So we're just learning as we go.
Mm-hmm. Well, congratulations.
Thanks.
Extend Studio, Churchill Road. The fact that you are here, it is just so amazing. And I just can't wait to learn about the story of yourself, the business, and how you ended up in Prospect. How did you end up in Prospect?
Well, I guess I always loved the area of Prospect, and I think when we were looking for a space, we wanted to find something that was like close to the city and up and coming. And at the time of opening, we were the only reformer studio here. So that ticked all our boxes. So it was also hard to find somewhere that was big enough to host all 3 things that we do at Extend. So we were really glad when we found our little gem on Churchill Road, and it's so nice. It's right next to a park as well, and there's always people walking by, like there's a playground close by. So yeah, we're very happy with our spot.
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
and the whole model of being able to come in, you've got a cafe, you've got the reformers. Tell me, for someone that is listening and watching, they haven't been before, what do they expect?
Well, I guess you would expect to walk into a warm and welcoming space, like somewhere where it's like a breath of fresh air. You don't feel like you're intimidated or you don't feel like you're being judged. So we kind of wanted that feel where you walk in, you leave your worries at the door, you come in, you do a class, you might have an appointment, or you come and stay and hang around for a coffee afterwards, and then you feel better than before you came in. So that was the feel that we were going for. and I'm hoping that we've achieved that with our little community that we've built.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. What were you doing, I guess, before Extend? Like, how did you come up with the idea of bringing physio, Pilates, and I guess creating this atmosphere that is to be Extend Studio now?
Yeah, well, I loved all these three ideas, and I would always say like, oh, wouldn't it be nice if there was a place that had all these through like three different services in the one spot? And I never really thought I would do it, but then with the push of my family and friends, they said, you know what, actually you should do it and you should make it your dream a reality. So that's what I tried to do. And so I'm a physio and I worked in a small clinic before this, and I just thought there was a bit of a gap in the industry. So I think people are so time poor at the moment. So it's nice to have all those services under one roof and build that nice little tight-knit community, which so I'm glad we've done that. Yeah.
Oh, definitely. You mentioned family support. Did you have mentors in being able to do this?
Well, I've got close friends who are also physios that have kind of branched out and gone on their own as well. So lots of advice from them, but not really like a mentor. Besides, I feel like my husband was my mentor because he's so business orientated and business minded. And so he really helped me start everything up as well, which is good. Yeah.
Oh, it's brilliant. And tell me a little bit about the local community that is of Churchill Road. I mean, being on Churchill Road, you've got Prospect Road here, then Main North Road. Yeah. What's happening? What are you noticing? And how is your community, I guess, influencing your business?
Yeah, well, I think like community is so important to us, and we like doing community events and like listening to what they say. So if they want something, we try our best to make it happen. And I think, local community is so important in the decisions that we make. So if they want another class, then we'll add that in. Or if they want something in the cafe, then we'll try our best to add that in as well. So I think that has really shaped how we've done things at Extend. So community is the heart of it, and we like to celebrate the small wins for our little community. So if somebody reaches a milestone like a 50 classes or 100 classes, we like to give them a little prize and take their photo and put it up on the wall. So I think those small little things really bring our community together.
And it makes you feel good.
Yeah, yes, definitely. And I think with Prospect and just Churchill Road, we often find there's lots of like new mums in the area, which is something that I didn't know before coming to the area. But we are able to offer the pre and postnatal classes, and our mums and minis classes are a big hit. So I think bringing that and enjoying that in the community is good as well for where we are. One thing that we've learnt from our learners is with our mums and minis classes, there are postnatal classes that you can bring your baby to the reformer class, and then you can do your reformer Pilates. We used to have a rule saying you can come from 6 weeks up until when your baby is crawling, but people loved it so much and they said, oh, like I really want to still come, but my baby's on the move, so what do I do? So we decided to adapt, and we bought a little playpen so people can still come and bring their babies and they can see them, they know they're in a safe space and they can enjoy their class. So that's something that we've really learnt along the way as well.
And families, a lot of people here, they wear many hats. You know, kids go that way, parents gym there, or they are shopping at Chanella's. So having Extend Studio on Churchill is just, I would say, crucial. And do you get that kind of feedback?
Yeah, definitely. And I think sometimes people can get a bit lost with Prospect Road sometimes. So it's nice to just be a little bit set back from there, because there's not as many businesses on Churchill Road compared to Prospect Road. So I think sometimes parking can be a little bit easier, which is worked in our benefit. But besides that, it's nice to be so close to everything, like all the hustle and bustle. It's nice to be around that space as well.
And you have a beautiful location.
Yeah, yes, it's stunning. Yeah.
Describe it for those listening that haven't been.
Yeah, so I guess when you walk into a nice, like, friendly, warm environment, and you can just leave your worries at the door. You can walk in, you can enjoy your class. You are welcomed by our friendly cafe staff, and it feels like a breath of fresh air. So lots of greenery, lots of plants. I love my plants. And
the
lots
oval
of,
across the
oval
road.
across the road. We've got a park across the road. We've got car parks out the front. And then it's a little bit hidden. Like you walk in not thinking that it's so big, and you just keep going down, and then you go, oh, wow, there's like the clinic space on the left, and there's the big reformer studio at the back. So it's nice that it just keeps going. So very clean and open and friendly space.
And touching on friendly space, how have you navigated creating that atmosphere? What have you learned along the way with business and experience and making that decision on this is the atmosphere we need to create for Extend Studio?
Well, I think I'm pretty picky on who I employ. So I think I was very thorough with employing people that actually are excited about coming to work and want to be a part of our team. People that are genuine and like genuinely care about people and that are authentic and team players. I think that makes a big difference in our culture and our team culture as well. So I think having good staff, like if you look after them, they look after you. So I think that has worked in our favour as well.
Wow, it's so good to hear. It's and it's such a big contribution being able to come to work, put a smile on your face, everyone's face, and then just, I guess, all head in that wanting to be better direction.
Yeah, I think it's a very fulfilling job, like helping people move better and empowering people to exercise and just being able to tell them, you know what, you actually can do this and your shoulder's okay, you can try these movements. Yeah.
And tell me about the other aspects of your business from the physio side. You've got the cafe Pilates. How does it work for someone listening who, you know, they might feel a bit of something and they want to see and I guess pursue the path of solving it?
Yeah.
How do you guys help? Where do you fit in that?
Well, I guess that somebody would start by saying, okay, I've got this niggle in my shoulder or my back, and they would book in for a physio consult. And our physios would sit down with them. They would try to get to the root cause of their pain, not just treating the symptoms. So actually working with them to find, like, how can we make this better? What can we do? What rehab can we help you with to make sure that you're pain-free and that it's not going to come back? And then I think after that, people, once they've done physio, they go, okay, I'm good, sweet, I can leave now. But it's nice to be able to say, you know what, if you don't want this to come back, it's good to do some sort of movement, whether that's going to the gym or doing yoga or walking, or if they're interested in reformer Pilates, then we can help them with that. And our physios can chat to our instructors and say, look, this person has hurt their shoulder, they can't do this, can you please help them with their care? And then it's just that full circle. They always are getting looked after.
And how did this idea to make this come alive? What was the moment when were you at work one day and you saw something happen, and what was the day where the idea came into your mind?
I think, well, I used to do lots of reformer Pilates myself elsewhere, so more fitness-based reformer stuff.
Right.
And I just said, you know what, I feel like everyone would benefit with some sort of reformer movements in their life. And I noticed that a lot in clinics, so treating people with all these different pains and issues, and I just think that it just helps so much. It's like a magic wand, a magic pill, and I wanted to share that with everyone. So I think that's where the spark came, to be able to do both collaboratively as well.
And touching on magic wand and those sort of moments, where do you see Extend Studio going in the next 3 to 5 years? The growth of Churchill Road, all the developments going on, and obviously having Prospect next door.
Yeah.
What's on the cards for you guys? Where do you see it going?
I have just said, like, Extend can be whatever it wants to be. So I'm like willing to adapt and change as things come up, and just having an open mind to what it can be. So I would love to get more physios involved, and even other health professionals like OT, speech pathologists, even like a naturopath to help with the rooms. So we've got so many clinic rooms, like I'd love to fill them out with other health professionals that want to help people. So that's my vision with Extend, and maybe one day I'd also love to open up a second location, but that's not in the cards just yet, but one day I think that would be where I'd want to go.
Wow. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
So do you collaborate with any other businesses? And if you do, how do you do so with the, all the moving parts such as the cafe, physio? You said in the podcast so far that if you hear something or something's coming from, I guess, people coming to the classes, that you would pivot and you would do something.
Yeah.
What do you guys do?
Well, I guess lots of people have been asking for a sauna, so that's something that we said, you know what, lots of people have asked for it. Let's make this happen, and that's something that is not public knowledge, but it's coming very, very soon. So that's very exciting. And then I guess we learn from other businesses and then our clientele as well, and it's brought on lots of different business opportunities. For example, we have one of our clients that come to Pilates. We've actually just employed her to be a barista with us. So I feel like that opportunity wouldn't have happened if we didn't have a strong knit base and foundation. And then there's also somebody else that introduced us to becoming the physios for the Adelaide Uni basketball team. So that opportunity wouldn't have happened if we didn't have the people around us today. So.
Wow, so lots going on.
Yeah, lots of things going on in the background, and I think we work a lot with small businesses as well, and like especially with our cafe, we get our breads from a certain place and our protein balls from a different place. So it's nice that we can tie in with all those small little businesses as well.
Oh, it's fantastic, and just like you said, if you don't have that conversation, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
That's amazing. Do you, for those visiting or for those listening that want to visit, what are your tips to get them through the door? I mean, consistency could be a thing for those that, they're thinking about doing Pilates but they've never done it, or maybe, they are kind of hurting and they need support. What are some words or words of encouragement that you'd like to give the listeners?
Yeah, I guess just come as you are and we will meet you where you're at. So you don't have to be your best. You can come as you are and we will meet you, in the middle. So we'll help you where you're at, even if you've just come and you say, okay, this is it. I've made it to the class, but please don't push me or don't get me to do anything too hard. Like that's also so fine. So we welcome them at all stages. Even if you're a very new beginner, we just say come enjoy the class. Like we'll look after you. The girls, before your first class, they'll give you a run through of the reformer and ask them if they have any injuries and just to see where they are in their fitness journey as well. So you don't have to be a fitness or Pilates expert to come through our doors. So we kind of just welcome everyone through all stages. And I guess I would just tell the listeners that if you're always thinking about it, like you have to take that leap, and just you won't know if you don't try.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you always been open? I'm getting this sense of open to new ideas, taking opportunities by the.
Yeah, I would like to say I take calculated risks. So I feel like I'm laid back enough to not stress about the small things, and there's always going to be issues that come up, but you just deal with them as they come. Yeah.
No, it's nice to hear. Yeah. So Pilates, for those that don't know what it is and they're still trying to work it out, what is Pilates and what do they expect? I mean, you've given a nice brief kind of experience, but how does Pilates help?
Yeah, so I think Pilates can help anyone. It's pretty much just movement, like different types of movements on the reformer. So there are different Pilates principles. So we don't go to that like to a T. We're not super strict on that. So I guess we're more of a combination of clinical Pilates, but then also fitness Pilates. But just trying to get people to move their bodies is our main goal. So whether that is recovering from an injury and you have modifications, or you're pregnant and you just want to move your body, or you've recently just had a baby, Pilates can help with all of the above. So we really love that at Extend.
Mm. And I guess moving forward with your vision, you've touched on what you would like to see happen. What's currently happening? I mean, what's the team like? You said that you're very strict on creating a certain atmosphere and hiring the right people.
Yeah.
What's happening currently at Extend Studio?
Well, they're pretty goofy. I think we like to have fun, so we're not too serious. So, we like to celebrate everyone's wins. Like, for example, we've had a physio that's recently got engaged, so that was very exciting. And then obviously I've just had my baby. So currently they're actually there doing babysitting duties, which is very lovely. So it's nice that I can have such a supportive team and trust them with things like that as well. I think all the girls are very like-minded, love movement, love to exercise their body, and are very mentally aware as well. They're very strong people, and we're very very close, which is nice in a workplace.
And what puts a smile on your face? I mean, from the development to opening the door, finally landing on Churchill Road, seeing the business being open now and turning into, I guess, what it is.
Yeah.
What do you enjoy seeing?
I think something that I've really loved is just looking at the community and seeing all these people that didn't know each other before, but now they're such close friends, and they wouldn't have that if they weren't coming to the same Pilates class every day and meeting new people and getting a coffee afterwards. So I think that's really developed very organically, which is nice. So I think, for example, our 6:30 a.m. class have been the same girls for the whole entire year that we've been open, and they're so close. And I just think, how are you guys not friends before you started here? So that's really special to see that.
That's amazing. And kind of moving towards the end of the podcast, what are your top tips for people that are interested in, I guess, taking a risk and starting their own business? Maybe there's a physio listening and they're inspired by you, and what kind of tips do you have, and how did you overcome the challenges that you faced?
Well, I guess there's always challenges and there's always things that come up, but you just have to take the plunge. If you want to do it, then just do it. Don't hold back. Even with me, I think I should have done it a year prior, but I was sitting on it for so long, and I always said, oh no, I can't do it. I'm not well skilled enough in this industry, but I just took the plunge and I did it, and I'm so glad that I did. So if you're ever thinking about it, just do it. Mm-hmm.
Amazing. And for someone that they're listening, they want to sign up, they want to support you and your journey, and also get on the reformer, how do they get in touch with you guys? Where do they go?
Yeah, well, our website has everything that you need, and we've also got an Extend Studio app for our reformer Pilates. So we have a intro offer, which is a nice little taste tester into Pilates. So you don't have to commit. You can just come for your 4 classes. It's 4 for $49, so it's not a big expense. You can just try a couple classes, see if it's for you, and then go from there.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much.
Pleasure.
It's been so good having you on, Z, and just hearing about your journey on how you made this happen is just so inspiring. Thank you for coming on the Prospect Pod.
No worries. Thank you so much for having me.